With the holidays coming up, it's time to look into what pairs well with your turkey and mashed potatoes. Well, have I got news for you? Today, we're being sponsored by Bright Cellars. Bright Cellars is a wine subscription service that sends you not one, not two, but six, read 'em, 6 bottles of wine, all for a low price based on your taste, what you're eating, and the things that you like to eat, such as dark chocolate or a strawberry shortcake. So, using my code in the description, check out Bright Cellars and find yourselves a lovely table wine for your Thanksgiving activities. That's Bright Cellars, and tell them I sent you. Sittin, waitin, wishin, hopin. There are a lot of things that we wait for on a daily basis, whether it's for the Yanks to win the World Series or for a bank deposit, an Uber, the Cubs. I always seem to find myself going back to the Cubs for some reason, which is weird because they're not my team, but okay. So anyway, waiting. I think Dr. Seuss himself actually talked about this in Oh, the Places You'll Go, and how we can sit there and we are, just becoming, well, is this part of being a grown-up? Well, is it? Well, let's put it this way. Recently, there was a huge debate whether or not you wait when you get the free bread at a restaurant or if you just dive right in. So for the purposes of this discussion, 1, it's gluten-free. 2, someone has magically managed to make Russian black bread gluten-free, which is difficult because I have tried, and it's as coarse and as lovely and as molassesy as it can possibly be. Molassesy. It doesn't matter. But for the purposes of this discussion, it is heaven on earth. There is no wheat, no rye, no barley, but it's beautiful and heavy and just the color of the perfect night sky. Okay. You can spread it with butter, thick enough to leave teeth marks. It's so good with your coffee. Now, everyone will there are people who insist that you wait. Well, I'm sorry, Judgy McJudgerson, but that's not how it works. We wait for everything, and sometimes it actually hurts us. Okay, so there's a difference between waiting and waiting for your mobile check deposit to go through so that, you've got that. There's a difference between waiting on the stock market when you have just found the best investment ever and you just got a gift to try it out and actually, your first couple of bucks absolutely done, you just pick the stock and just waiting to see what it does. That kind of waiting can be kind of fun. Waiting for a holiday. There's going to be a lot of it, even though that right now I am seeing Christmas. It went from ghouls and skeletons to Christmas, which, since I celebrate Christmas from the 24th of December to the 6th of January, it's a wee bit early. Okay, well, guys, we forgot about Advent. We forgot about St. Nicholas's Day, the day that St. Nicholas's bones ooze and miracles happen, because that's apparently a thing. Link in the description regarding Saint Nick and his miraculous oozy bones. And well, and I'm sorry about your appetite, although if you love marrow, you should be just fine. Anyway, but we're talking about waiting. And we do a lot of that in this life, because there are some things that are meant to bring us things instantaneously. Some things, however, take time, and if the post office gets a little bit funny, it can take far longer. I am not insulting the Postal Service, although, just watch. They will have an issue, but somehow or the other, they will find those missing wedding invitations that are completely unnecessary now from 15 years ago. Unnecessary in that it's done, it's over, I'm a free single woman. But they will find those missing wedding invitations from 15 years ago and just be like, "Oh hi, we thought you might want these." Oh. Thanks. So that kind of waiting. And then unexpected returns. So anyway, waiting for your coffee to brew. Well, it's lovely and you can smell it, and sometimes they have that little cheat thing where you can take the pot off and pour and then put it back on. It's nice. It is a bit nerve-wracking when you're in the middle of an assignment and you just want to get it done, but you want to do it caffeinated. Waiting on good things that you swear are coming to you and have been promised. Well, there are some things that are very worth waiting. Sometimes you just have to attack that breadbasket. Once again, for the purposes of today's discussion, that breadbasket contains gluten-free black bread that contains 0 allergies, or at least none of the big 8. Wheat, rye, barley, fish, blah, 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 blah. It is just the most delicious thing on the face of the planet. It is hot. There is steam coming off that baby girl. There is steam. It smells so good you can almost taste it. And now you don't have to wait. I mean, I would definitely not want to burn my lips or my tongue on it, but take that baby out, slather that girl, and have at her. There are 2% of the world, apparently, who disagree with me on this. They have a right to their opinion. So what I'm suggesting is make things happen. Is there some things that you can do right now that you have it in your purview, you can do it with, get those things done. If they're still, start the process of moving it along. Make the phone calls, write the emails, whatever, get that bugger done. And everything else, there's MasterCard. No, sorry. For everything else, maybe patience is a good thing in some respects, but in other things, there are things that you shouldn't be patient for. So go out there. Get those things done for yourself. Pick up that thing that you have wanted for gosh only knows how long. And as for me, find an actual good recipe for gluten-free black bread that will give it that lovely coarseness, because a lot of the flours I've discovered are a little too fluffy. And I'm not really eating a lot of bready products because, those are done in moderation. Most of the time it's meats and vegetables and eggs and cheese and things like that. In other words, I am a hippie nightmare. But not really a lot of bready things, but 'tis the season, I think, to start working on your cookie recipes. That it's by the time that, say, the middle of the month and Advent arrive, you have things to do for the weeks of hope, peace, joy, and love, which is a waiting period, by the way. Advent, the 4 weeks of Advent are a waiting period, but you still should be doing things. So get out there and do. Find things for the things that you have put off for yourself, the things that you know that you should be doing. Me, I have a project proposal to work on next week on how Shakespeare is still relevant to the 21st century. And while I am not waiting exactly for the beginning of week 4, but I haven't really started on the whole, well, I think that this is, well, hello group of concerned parents who are wondering if we should still teach Shakespeare in today's schools, considering that they might learn their first yo mama joke from Shakespeare, because he actually wrote one of the first yo mama jokes in English in Marcus. No. I always want to name one of my favorite emperors, but that's not true. Titus Andronicus. In Titus Andronicus is one of the first yo mama jokes in English, and would that be inappropriate for teenagers? Well, they're going to come up with them all by themselves. Granted, maybe not in that particular syntax. One of the sons of the villainess is talking with the villainess's manservant / lover, and he says something like, blah, 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 mother, blah, 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 blah. And the manservant / lover says something like, villain, I have done thy mother. So I'm considering writing a project proposal to concerned parents about whether or not Shakespeare is still relevant and why we should still teach him in schools, regardless of the fact that Shakespeare can be a wee bit dirty sometimes. Especially if you are seeing a production in the original accents, because Shakespeare was from Yorkshire. So he would have probably possessed a bit of a more yar type accent, talk like a pirate type stuff. And I have seen people do it in the original accent, and the jokes are slightly different than what would happen if someone from America or someone from the more received pronunciation parts of Great Britain would pronounce them. And so also links to the original accent bits. So yeah, don't wait. That's what I'm saying, is get out there, get things done, but also take the time. If you or anyone you know have been affected by any of the issues in today's program. So have a good day. Attack that breadbasket. Eat the marrow out of life. Love ya.